back in the pack ultra guy here. Apologies for my voice. I am somehow alive after being sick for 4 days, but I'm super excited about this. I met this guest, Michael, at Spike Camp, and get into that in a little bit, but I was so impressed by every time I would pass him, he had this huge smile on his face. He was greeting everybody, super positive, and not to mention he was just smashing it. So I was like, I got my eye on this guy, and then I started stalking him on Instagram, yada, 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 and we're here today. So today's guest is Michael Whiteside. Michael, if you wouldn't mind just giving us a brief introduction, where you grew up and how you found running, we'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on. Yeah, I was born in Texas, didn't live there very long, like a couple months. Grew up in northern New Mexico in the mountains, Los Alamos. Went to high school there. Out of high school, I joined the Air Force. So ended up going to Germany and then eventually to Utah, where I got out of the Air Force in '05 and just stayed in Utah. So it brought me here and I haven't left, and met my wife here. We got married back in '04. So got out of the Air Force in '05 and just decided to stay in Utah. And like others in the military, I know you actually talked about this the other day, is I hated running before. I played football, played ball sports. I hated the running part of it. I thought it was punishment. It was awful, like the last guy running around, because I hated it. And then during the Air Force, I got faster. I got in trouble, so I couldn't leave base when I was in tech school. So it was like nothing else to do except go to the gym, and tried to get better at running, and ended up getting decent at the short distance. So, 2 miles, 3 miles max is all you ever ran. And then I got out and was like, okay, I don't have to run. I'm not going to. Like, that was enough. I had enough of that. And then was a heavy equipment mechanic, so I was still active just because I had to be. But then I got the job I have now, which is in sales, and free food and travel and no physical work. So the weight packed on pretty quick, and ended up started cycling when I wasn't happy with the way I was looking, because I tried running again, and I was like, ooh, that's really hard. Like, I remember it being that hard. So hopped on the bike. I would bike commute to work back before my sales gig, just, a couple miles. And so like, well, I know I can ride the bike. It feels good. I can get movement. It doesn't feel like it's exhausting, right? I mean, you can actually get movement out of it. So started with the bike, and then my wife back in 16, she did the Portland Marathon. And
Nice.
so I saw her finish, and I'm like, ooh, like, I want to run again. Like, I want a medal, like, I want the shirt. I want all the fun stuff. So I was jealous of that. So I started road running again, did the half marathon thing, had my eye on a marathon. And then my buddy in 2019 that I grew up with did Wasatch 100. So he's like, hey, you want to pace me for the last third? And I'm like, ooh, that's like 30 miles if I remember what a third of 100 is, right? So I was like, sure, like, I'll do it. Like, why not? He's like, I'll be slow. Don't worry about it. So that was my first marathon, even my first 50K. I actually was just pacing him right into the finish. So it's the last 30 miles of it. Saw him cross the line and was like, this is my life now. Like, I have to get a buckle. Like, I was terrified still and had never run. I mean, like I said, that was my first anything over 20 miles. I don't think I'd ever done a 20 miler by then. So just 2019 was the start. Did a 50K that fall on the island here in Salt Lake. And then, COVID. And so kind of built my way up, ended up doing a solo 100K in 2020.
Nice.
Cause me and him were going to do Zion 100K together in 2020, but they canceled it, like everything else got canceled. So I was like, well, I'm trained. Like, let's see if I can do it myself.
Right
So
on.
luckily I'm right down the road from the Mountain Ops guys, and they helped me out. They did some aid stations for me, and just kind of winged it. Took me almost 24 hours, made my own route, just did it myself. So that was an
Right on.
interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially, like there's something about the race atmosphere that just makes it really enjoyable. Like the longer training runs, like maybe a 50K overnight, right? Training for
Right.
something. It just feels like I don't know. I mean, I'm such a social person. I just feels lonely. Like I'm bored. There's no one to talk to.
Yeah, yeah. Like midnight to 1 a.m. I was by myself in the woods in the dark, no phone service. Was just like, well, I'm out here. Like the only way to get back is to keep going. So, and then one of my wife's cousins popped up out of the woods. He was coming to, they were my next aid station, and he pops out. He's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna pace you for a while." I was like, "Okay, good." Like I need to
Yes,
talk to
please.
somebody. Yeah, like I am very lonely out here. So, yeah, that was probably the hardest because of that, right? Because it was like, I was by myself. Like there's nobody around, no time limit. Like it was all on me. So that was an interesting one.
So you mentioned you have some connection to mountain ops. Um, I know that one of the Recovery Strong brothers is tied into mountain ops. Are you tied into that group at all?
Yep. Yeah. So Jake is actually, that's how I met him. And he was one of my aid stations, Jake Shaw.
Oh,
So
right on.
Jared's younger brother. Yeah. So I've known the
Yeah,
Shaw family, Live Recovery Strong, those guys for, yeah, 6 or 7 years now. It's wild.
yeah. It was such a crazy happenstance. I met somebody years and years ago doing some service mission, and randomly 20 years later, I reconnect with him, and he crews me at a race. And then he like reaches out a few months later. He's like, "Hey, you want to do the Grand Canyon with the Recovery Strong guys?" And I was like, "Sure." And I met those guys, and I just I love those guys. All those guys are just awesome, awesome guys. And Taylor Spike was there at the Grand Canyon,
Yep.
and if I ever thought I had any level of fitness after watching him like prance down, and I was like
Yeah.
blown away. I mean, it was amazing. But yeah, there's so I just I had to give a shout out to those guys. I love what they're doing, and each one of those brothers is just stand out kind of person and amazing
Yeah.
guys. So
Yep.
sorry for the tangent there, but I just had
No,
to
that's
loop that
great.
in.
Yeah, that's a good shout out to those guys because they really are. They've always done and been super nice to me and done whatever they can to help me out. So yeah, they
Yeah,
certainly didn't need to show up for that. I mean, it was all volunteer on a Saturday and they just came out and waited for me at a random spot in the woods.
yeah, awesome, awesome guys too.
Yeah.
Um, so that was your first 100K. Which, side note, I want to get your opinion on the 100K because I feel like the 100K is the sleeper distance.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is, like, I worked up to a 50, well, it was technically like 56 miles, but 50 miler. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to sign up a few months later for a 100K.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it kicked me right in the mouth. Because, like, you're like, oh, it's only a few more miles.
Right.
It's that sweet spot where, like, you're just getting your face kicked in a 100 miler, like right at that 100K mark. And that
Yeah.
100K is just a great introduction. And that's at least how I feel about it. But I'd love to hear your opinion on that.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. When I did that solo one, the farthest I gone was a 50K at that point. Yeah, it was a big difference. I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know fueling. I didn't know any of it. So I was cramping and barely eating. And yeah, I've had 100Ks hit like 100 milers. Like the Tusher's 100K in southern
Oh,
Utah. Oh, that thing will hit you right in the mouth. It is
yes.
hard. And yeah, from a 50 miler, I mean, that's another 12 miles, depending on if it's an actual 50K or 100K, I should say,
Yeah.
right? I've had 100Ks be 66 miles. Good old Never Summer, right? That
Yeah.
one's a long one. Yeah, 100K is, you know, I think it is. Some of these are like, well, it's the next logical step. Like, it's not that much farther. Well, it'll get you. It is farther, and it is
Yeah.
hard. So,
Definitely don't sleep on the 100K because it is,
yes.
I mean, let's be fair. I was probably undertrained, not trained enough, had no idea what I was doing, but still,
Yeah.
I was shocked. I got to the end of it, and if I was technologically savvy, I could show the picture of me while we're chatting right now, but I can't. But
Yeah.
my finish line photo says it all. It was just like, what in the world just happened?
Shell
It was,
shock.
yeah. So I always like to ask people that because I think the 100K is kind of like, the redheaded stepchild, where people are really like, when they
Yeah.
get into it, they're like, oh, whoa, this is a real
Yeah.
puncher. But
Oh yeah.
anyway,
They're
sorry,
tough,
sorry,
man.
sorry for that. So
No, you're good.
after that one, um, did you just do the natural progression to a 100 miler? Did you take your time to revisit the
Yeah, I mean,
distance?
I was still pretty, I'm not, I'm confident in a certain aspect, but I'm also very much not confident in my own abilities. So I was still terrified of a 100 miler. Like it still wasn't like, okay, 100K, yeah, I've got this. So that was 2020. I did Twisted Fork that June. They still had that one that year. So that one's like 42 miles or something. It's a 68K. So, the course is what it is. He just like, I don't care how far it is. It is what it is. So,
Yeah,
and then I did 250 milers later that year. So Mama Bear in Idaho, and they only had it one year. It was the Thunderbird one in southern Utah. I did that 50 miler.
I didn't. I've never heard of that one. Interesting.
Yeah, they did. I don't even know if they're doing them at all anymore. They did a half marathon, a 50K, and then they did a 50 miler one year, and I did it, and I was the last finisher. I finished 1 minute, like within the last minute of the cutoff overall. So
Yeah,
like 45 seconds. It was rough, man.
I love it.
But it was cool. They held the finish line up and everything. And then in 21 is when I went over to the 100 miler. So Zion was canceled in 20, so I transferred it to 2021 and stepped up from the 100K to the 100 miler. And then
That's
I also signed up for Bear before I did Zion because I knew, one, if I failed, I would want another shot. If I finished, I would want to do it again. So I just signed up for two before I even did one. Ended up doing them
so.
both in 21.
Out of those two, I've heard a lot about Zion's, but I haven't heard too much about. You called it the Bear.
The Bear, yeah.
Tell me about that
So,
one.
yeah, the Bear's my favorite. I'm in it again this year. Well, I'm on the wait list, but I'm like 24th or something, so I'll get in. But this will be my fifth year doing the Bear. The Bear 100 is all time favorite for me. I mean, I don't even foresee myself not wanting to do it every year. I mean, it's timing wise, there's a bunch in September, so eventually I'll have to part ways with it for a year or two to do other ones. Yeah, that's northern Utah into Idaho. You cross over the border at like mile 75 or something like that into Idaho, and you finish at Bear Lake, and it's late September. It's stunning. I mean, all the leaves are changing,
Whoa.
beautiful trails, beautiful mountains. I mean, it is like, it's unreal how pretty it is. And the race director is great. Cody does an amazing job. All the volunteers are amazing. The aid stations are great. It's only getting better. Every year I've done it, I've been super impressed. So it's
Awesome.
top of my list, man. I love that one.
I mean, I'm not like I'm some ultra savant and know every race or anything, but I always like to ask about ones I haven't heard of because just in doing this, I've heard of so many races. I'm just in this little Phoenix bubble with like Aravaipa, and there's nothing wrong with Aravaipa. They have fantastic races, but it's almost like, oh, there's a world of ultras outside of the Phoenix area and Aravaipa. It's just awesome to hear about these other ones because there's so much beauty out there, especially in Utah. I mean,
But yeah,
yeah, it's what a
we're very
better
lucky.
place to have ultras. Can you tell me a little bit about the Bear though, like elevation and a little
Yep.
bit about the terrain?
Yeah, so it's all trail. I think, well, like the last mile, you're on a bike path to get to. They have it finish on the beach of Bear Lake now.
That's cool.
It's amazing. It's so cool. Yeah, there's 21,000 feet of vert, I think, overall. So
Get
it's no joke.
some.
And then I think, but you don't get that high, so it's like over 9,000. Like you don't hit 10. So comparable to Wasatch, but not as technical. Really flowy trails, some dirt road, access road, and it can get really hot. It can get really cold. It can get really cold. There's been mud bear years where it rained. There's been snow bear years where it snowed. It's been like the past couple of years have been dry but really hot. Last year was probably the best year. The year before that, I mean, it was like 90 something and at the end of September, and I got nuked.
Yeah.
So, but it's just, yeah, I mean, the terrain is stunning. And you go from one canyon to another, back to the other. I mean, you cross the Logan Canyon is the main canyon, you cross it, and yeah, but no cell service, just you're in the woods and it's beautiful.
Yeah, we have a similar, not obviously, exact, but we have a similar 100 here in Arizona called the Mogollon Monster. In the mountains, no cell reception, and I always like it because you feel like you're really on an adventure.
Yes.
Like some of those races you do where you have cell service and like your buddy calls you or you call your buddy, or it's like, when
Yeah.
you're out there and there's no service and you have like a Garmin InReach, you're like, all right, we're firing on
Yeah.
some adventure cylinders now for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
I really like that too. That's just like, yeah, I can't say enough about how great like their aid stations are and their volunteers are. It feels like a local, I mean, just small routes, like just great. But man, last year they sold out in 10 minutes. So they had to go to a lottery this year for the first time. And so it was kind of, I mean, they didn't want to do a lottery. They fought it forever. But I mean, year before last, it was 2 hours. Last year it was 10 minutes. So they're like, look, we don't really have a choice anymore. So they had to. Admittedly, I mean, you have to. You have to. It's a bummer about getting popular, right? So,
Yeah, I was talking to someone a, a couple months ago, and we were talking about how fast the sport is growing.
hmm
And it's funny because if you're a little old in the sport or really old in the sport, you're like, dang man, I remember when there was no lottery, and
yeah,
you could just sign up the week before,
yep,
and it's just so crazy how the sport is blowing up. And I think it's like part of me loves it because obviously the ultra community is hands down the best. So you want
oh,
people
yeah,
to experience it, and then the other like selfish side's like,
yeah,
let's keep
yeah,
ultra weird. I don't like
right,
race lotteries.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's a
it's
bummer.
great.
Yeah,
There's so many good points to it, and it's just amazing how fast it's blowing up. I mean, Cocodona, what was it? It was like, I mean, the site shut down. It was like,
yeah,
it's just insane what's happening.
yeah,
Uh, anyway, so that's a big tangent, but so the Bear, and then you did Zion's 100 the same year. What year was that? Was that 2021?
yeah. I was 21. Yeah,
21. So where did life take you from there?
yeah. So Wasatch 100 starts at where I basically start my runs almost every day. So that's the start of Wasatch. That was next. Definitely significantly harder than the Bear. The Bear's hard. I mean, they're all hard. It's 100 miles, right? Like I always tell people that, like, how hard is it? Like, well, they're all hard. They all just, present their own. But Wasatch is definitely, I would say, very high up on the difficulty. But it starts from my house. So I was like, well, I mean, I guess that one's next. That one has been a lottery for a long time. So I put in for it and I got in first chance. So that was 2022. I was like, score. And then I wanted to kind of build up throughout the year for that. So I did Tushers that year also in July. Yeah, so that was a build up year, and I had probably the race of my life at Tushers, which is awesome. It was
Hey,
totally unexpected. I mean, did about as good as I could and finished like, I mean, there's a 24-hour cutoff, and I was like, well, if I get in under 20, like I'm back of the pack is perfect name for me because I'm like back third every time. So I was like, well, if I get in under 20, that'd be like best day ever, maybe 21, 22, whatever I can get in. And got in 1945. And I was like, what?
dang,
And I was like
dude.
running the last like 8, 9 miles. I was just like in it. So I felt really good, feel like I hammered it. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready for Wasatch. And
That's
Wasatch
awesome.
will slap you in the face, man. I mean, it is a very difficult race, but
That anyone I've talked to who's done Wasatch, been around it, crewed, anything. That's what all I hear is it's
yeah.
tough. It is a tough race,
hmm
and yeah, I lived in Utah when I was younger, and and I go back, and I love, Big Cottonwood, Little Cottonwood Canyon. I love all those mountains, and it's just,
Hmm.
and I've spent some time up. Uh, I don't remember the canyon that they took me to, but it was up. Gosh, Big Canyon. What was it called? Big something.
Big
Anyway,
Cottonwood,
no, it wasn't Big Cottonwood. It was, they called it like Big Canyon Pass, or I can't remember. I'd have to check my
Big Mountain.
Strava. Yeah, that's maybe what it is.
Yeah, Big Mountain
So
maybe.
all those, the whole range is just, it's
Yeah.
so, the mystique of the Wasatch is, to me, is there. But when you say, because you just described a 20K 100 and said that the Wasatch is harder, and you
Yeah.
mentioned it was technical. So dig into Wasatch a bit.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I'd like to hear about it, but I'd love to hear about, why you're saying it's harder.
Yeah. So there's slightly more elevation. It's got like 23,000 instead of 21,000. So it starts out with a 4,000 foot climb. Like, right. I mean, that's within, like, by mile nine, you've already climbed 10,000 or like 5,000 feet. Like, it's crazy. Um, and then you just ride a ridge. It gets really hot that first afternoon. Again, I'm back, like my Wasatch finish times are in the 34-hour range. So first afternoon, you're in a very, very exposed section of the trail, and it's hot. And I mean, it's been hot every year, and there's nothing around you but burned grass, and it's just like you're getting cooked. But all the climbs are really technical. All the descents, for the most part, are really technical. So rocky, uneven. Anytime that it's not rocky or uneven, it's exposed. So it's like, there's three major aid stations along the way. Like, they're the big checkpoints. And every time you cross one of those, you're going into a totally different race after that. Like, it's like,
Interesting.
yeah, so the first 50K is Kaysville, the big mountain. And it's, there's a section of 11 miles without aid that is just brutal. I mean, I've taken two soft flasks and a bladder and ran out of water. So the second time I did it, I took three soft flasks and a bladder, made sure I filled up, made sure I drank before I left, and still almost ran out. Like, I made sure I ran out, so I was just drinking the very last bit by the time I got there. And I mean, that aid station, I volunteered there a couple times, and it is just carnage. I mean, and you're a 50K in, it's a 50K, and it is just, I mean, people look like they've been through it, and oh, by the way, probably in my opinion, the hardest section is next. So, and that's that fully exposed, just you're on a ridge line. The descent to the next aid station after that is just like a straight down road. And so it's, dirt road, but it is rough, man. I mean, every part of your hips and knees and everything is just screaming at you. Then you go into the night, and it's hard. Like, there's a lot of climbing. You're just up and down a lot in that race. And it goes from really hot to really cold, like really cold sometimes. I mean, you're wearing jackets and hoodies and like freezing and shivering when you get to certain aid stations. And then, day two, so the next morning, the last 50K, everybody's like, well, it's kind of net downhill. You're like, okay, good luck with that. Like, it's a hard climb. You go up over Brighton to Point
Oh,
Supreme, so the high point of the race, right? And it's beautiful. I mean, it is stunning. And I've been there in the dark. I've been there at sunrise. I've paced that section, and I think right into the finish, I think I've done six times, twice during the race and then twice or the rest of the time pacing. Um, but you climb right out of I mean, the aid station's at the lodge, climb over the top, and the descent to the next one is awful. Oh, it's awful. Like, if you do it on a training run, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, I can run this. You're like, I mean, you can in a training run. At mile 75, like, your
no.
legs are toast, your feet are killing you, and it's
Right.
rocky and loose, and then there's just climb after climb. I mean, you go through Irv's torture chamber and the plunge, which is just a long drop, and Irv's is just like roller after roller. I mean, there's like seven or eight of them, and they're decent climbs and decent descents, and then yeah, and then the last, I don't know, 10, 15 miles is pretty runnable, but I mean, it's all exposed from then on out. So you're just in the sun, getting cooked, just trying to make it to the end. And the last 4 miles, man, on paper, you're like, that's not bad. Like I can run that in, and you can, you can run that in because it's just a gravel path around the lake. But it is awful. Oh, it's awful. It's so hard. I mean, and then they make you finish on a slight uphill on the road for the last mile. So like you can see the aid station or the finish, you can actually see the finish with like 15 or 20 miles left. You can look down in the valley and see the finish.
That's such torture, dude.
It's torture.
That's so torturous.
It's so mean. But I mean, honestly, it's one of the coolest races. The stuff you miss if you're, back of the pack, middle of the pack at night is just stunningly beautiful territory. I mean, you still get to see a very cool part of the Wasatch Front. And, you go past Park City, you go into Heber, and it's just beautiful. I mean, it really is. It's hard to beat some of the views you catch in that thing. So I like it. I've done it twice, and I don't know. I mean, maybe do it again one day, but it's so hard.
Yeah.
I'll just keep pacing and crewing it for now.
Yeah. I hear you. I have that race to Mogollon.
Yeah.
Someone asked me after I finished a multi-day race, they were like, "Would you ever do that again?" Or what's the race you wouldn't do again? I looked at him and I said, "I would do this multi-day event again before I ever went back to that other one."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yep.
but it's like there's certain races where you're like, it was amazing. I'm so glad I did it. But you're like, when they send out the race review or like survey, it's like, will you be coming
Yeah.
back? No.
Yeah. Like, no, we're good.
I will brag about this race and how great
Right?
it was, and I'll tell everyone they should
Yeah.
sign up. But I'm not going back.
Yeah. Yeah. But I had my fill. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I don't
that was
know. Yeah.
2020,
So that was Wasatch. I did 2022.
2022. Sorry.
Yep.
And then obviously, you don't seem like the type of guy that's like, oh, I just did one of the harder races in Utah. I think I'll just quit.
No, no, no. I doubled down on it actually. 23, I decided, well, I've done Bear, I've done Wasatch. They're both in September. Let's do them both. So I put in
There
for
you
Wasatch
go.
again and got in, and I had signed up for the Bears. So I was like, they call it the Utah, we just call it the double. So it's Wasatch and Bear. They're 3 weeks apart. So I was just like, let's do it, man. So
What's
built up
that
through the
like on
year.
the? Obviously, you're trained going into the first one, so going into the Bear. And I've asked a few other guests who have done like the Triple Crown or something like that, where there's these huge, ridiculous races back to back.
Yeah.
What does that feel like going? Because I know after a larger effort, like a 100 miler or like a multi-day, I am toast. I don't know how you guys do that kind of stuff. So, what is it like?
Yeah, it's hard, man. I think mentally it's harder. So in the double, it's Wasatch first and then the Bear. So you do the harder one first. And then, but it was like, I don't, I'm reluctant to use the word slow. I use it, but because that's how I see myself, but whatever. I mean, but I'm not to the point where I can like take my foot off the gas in a 100 miler because I won't make it. Like, so
They're
I
with
didn't
you good.
exactly push hard, but I conserved as much as I mindfully could. Um, so, once I crossed, I'm like, then it's instantly like, oh man, I got to do that again in 3 weeks. Like, I got to do it again.
That's what I'm
So,
saying. I can't imagine. I don't know
yeah,
how. It's like
yeah.
I'm.
I just was like, well, I mean, I did it. So there's part one is down, right? And then took a recovery few days and started train. I mean, you're trained at that point, like you said. You're not going to retrain in 3 weeks. So it's like I put in a solid effort the middle week and then tapered down again and just was like, let's see what I could do. I mean, I didn't feel awful, but I definitely didn't feel good, right? I didn't feel like, going into 100, like you're like excited and I'm like nervous and, just legs were tired from the first step. You're like, okay, here they are. And I have gotten better since then, but I was not good at eating early. So my stomach turned very quickly in that one in the Bear. I mean, like I went 70 miles on minimal food for that one. Like I stopped being able to eat about the first 50K. I was just like,
Dude, Michael, I don't know how you guys do that. People who have where their stomach turns, like the Almighty, the only thing that he ever like gave me was the ability to eat a ton of food and still like do the ultras. So
Yeah.
I could eat, you know, I'm not going to talk to you about how I'm just a ridiculous eater, but I see these other people, or I'm pacing a buddy. His stomach turns on him in some of these multi-day events, and he'll go like a long like day and a half without eating hardly anything. I don't know how you guys do that. That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, sheer will, honestly, like I was doing okay on liquid calories, but I mean, every step is a deficit at that point, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
was like, and the longer I went without food, the less I could eat. There's just like no catching up. Like we'd get to I'd see the crew and my wife be like, empty your pockets. And I'd pull out like a quarter of a pancake. She's like, that's all you ate? I'm like, that's all I could eat. The next time I had like a bag of bacon. She's like, did you eat any of it? I'm like, I think I had like a piece. And it was like, that was the first time I threw up in a race. And it was like, that was like midnight, ate an orange and was like, nope, that ain't happening. So yeah, I mean, water. I was drinking enough, so there was that. I wasn't cramping by any means,
Yeah.
but luckily, but yeah, I could not eat, and it was just kept going. Like, what else am I
Yeah.
gonna do? Stop?
That's amazing. Yeah, but see, just to put it in perspective for everyone listening, and just I don't know how people do that because I know how wiped out I am during a 100 miler or longer event, whatever, and I'm eating like ridiculous amount, like 3 cups of ramen. They put mashed potatoes in it. I'll
Yeah,
eat, I've eaten like 2 hamburgers and some chili at one. Like it's
yeah,
so. What I'm trying to say is, in my mind, I can't imagine if I'm that wiped out and still eating that much. I have no human clue on how you guys could do that with your stomach the way that is, because it's just amazing to me. And I think you said something, maybe not in jest, but you're like, it's just pure mind, pure willpower. And that's really what it's got to be,
yeah.
because it doesn't make sense.
Oh, it doesn't at all, right?
I
I
can't
mean,
understand it.
yeah. I mean, that was if you figure 12. I mean, let's see, probably close to 20 hours with minimal food, like just moving, I mean, so I think about it now and I mean, I didn't get this big not eating, like I'm, 6'3", 220, so I'm not a small guy either. So I have a very good talent of eating, but it's hard for me to eat early in a race. And then it's hard to, once my stomach's done, it's hard to bring that back. Like I've almost never recovered from not being able to eat. I just have to gut it out at that point and just try and drink calories, and hope the flavor is okay enough to get it down. So finding like the right calorie drinks has been good, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, the last like this year during bear, I ate the whole time, but I started early, so there's my learning curve, right? Is start right away,
yeah,
like. First time that watch alarm goes off, I'm not hungry. Like you just, kind of bypass it. But I'm like, nope, I have to eat right away.
yeah. I know before the call we were talking about at Spike Camp, that the just different people we met, and I mentioned that guy Robert,
But yeah,
and we were talking about just different ultra stuff, just kind of BSing about ultra stuff. And I was telling him a story. There's a guy I met, a really old OG ultra guy at a race, and it was my first one. I was like, hey, what recommendation would you have for a newbie? And he laughed. He goes, well, eat when you're happy, eat when you're sad, eat when you're thinking about a girl, and eat when you're thirsty. He says, eat all the time. That's all. Just eat. And I was like,
I like that.
and I didn't understand it. Obviously, it's my first race. I was like,
Right.
I'm not going to be
Okay.
unhappy. I'm not going to be.
Yeah.
But I've thought a lot about that in his, kind of funny wisdom. But it's so true. This
Yes.
idea that like what Ann Trayson, I think it was in Born to Run, when they quoted her saying it's just a glorified eating contest.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
true.
it's yeah, and I'm not taking away from the sport, because it's obviously a tremendous amount of willpower and all that other stuff, but there's a little
Hmm.
bit of an eating contest
Oh
involved.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And finding it, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, we're in 2026 now, and So 7 years in, I'm still absolutely learning. Like I do not feel like I know what I'm doing still, because every time I
Oh,
learn something else, right? I mean, it's like every time I'm like, okay, I have to eat this. Now I have to eat solid food too, because I've tried, gels for hours, and I'm like, oh, I still feel hungry. It's like this isn't enough, like I need food. So learning how to carry that food, what food you can eat. So like switch to mashed potatoes now, thanks to our almighty savior Courtney Dauwalter doing the mashed potato packets. I was like, I figured if it was good enough for her, maybe I'd try it, and it works for me. So it's got me through a few races, and just
yeah.
yeah, eating. Yeah,
Well, the double, sorry, that you called it the
yeah,
double, right? That's what the
yeah,
locals call it.
yeah.
So the double is insane. That I've never done anything back to back like that. Huge kudos and hats off to you for that. That's amazing. And that was 23. So what was next? Again, I can't imagine like you hung your head at
Yeah.
23.
Well, yeah, no. So I've kind of been trying to sneak in 200 milers each year. So two 100s. And so 24 I did Crazy Mountain
Oh,
and then the bear again. So yeah, Crazy Mountain, man, I'll go off on that one because it is a
I
great race. It's beautiful. And shout out to Megan. She does an amazing job as race director, and her crews and her volunteers are amazing. I mean,
that's so awesome.
there's one aid station that's horseback in only, and you go to it twice, and they're just there all day, and they bring loads of stuff in. They're cooking pizza. They got
What?
like yeah, and it's a horseback in only, so there's no crew, there's no drop bags. You're just, and it's an amazing aid
Wow.
station, and everybody's super happy. They have everything you need. Um, One of the things that I think is really cool, and I like to point it out, is their water sources are almost always fresh, like creeks or streams. So they strategically place their aid stations at like water. So they just filtering
Oh,
it. So, I mean, this is me, and I'm not trying to be diva boy, but like, sometimes aid station water is rough, man. Sometimes you get it in your bottle and you're like, what was that?
dude, do
Like,
not come and do a race in Arizona because
yes.
they Arizona has horrible water. Like I go visit family and friends in like Oregon and Utah, and
Yeah.
like out of the tap, it's just so good. But
Yeah.
it's just
Yes. Yeah.
bring your own water.
That's what I've learned. If you want good water, sometimes you got to bring it and hope you got a crew stop. But there, I mean, so that was really cool.
That's
Cold
amazing.
water, fresh off the river, and they filter it all for you. So there's just like a tree full of, filtered water everywhere, and
That's
which I think is
awesome.
awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
she tries to be sustainable. She tries to do, I mean, and she does a great job. Great swag, great people, great area. I mean, stunningly beautiful. Stunningly beautiful. One of the most beautiful races I've ever been to. I mean, mountain lakes, peaks, and just it's beautiful. Can't get I
Yeah.
can't say that one enough.
Anyone I've heard talk about Crazy Mountain is the same thing. It's just this
Yeah,
kind of one of those races that is just romanticized in your mind for like till the end of time. Like
right.
anyone who brings it up,
Yeah,
it's just this complete novel, picturesque views, and
yeah.
the race itself obviously is incredibly tough, but
Mm-hmm.
just people love that race. So shout
Oh
out
yeah,
to you said Megan, so shout out
yeah,
to you for that. That's you've got
yeah.
quite the
She's
cult
killing it,
classic
man.
following.
Right? Yeah. I mean, she sold out minutes this year too. I mean, it was like
It's
instant.
insane.
And then, yeah, so the one caveat to that race, it's beautiful, it's very remote, and it is kind of difficult for crew. So, a lot of dirt roads, no cell service, and be prepared. It's going to be, hard on the crew. So, I did one crew stop that time. I did no pacers, one crew stop. So it was like, I'm not going to ask the crew to drive 2 hours each way to get to an aid station. I'm like, I'll just suck it up. I got friends out there. Everybody's there with you. Like, you're not alone. So, and that was my first time without pacers, but it was good. And like I said, the community is amazing. So it was fine, but just know that it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's beautiful and it's there for a reason, right? So,
I'd like to pause real quick on that something you brought up because like I mentioned earlier, I'm like this social person. Like I'm talking to everybody. I just love to meet people out there, and I had never done an ultra without pacers or crew until I did Sedona Canyons this last year. And I don't know if you had a similar experience with, like you mentioned, with doing your first race with no pacers. It was really tough. Like obviously I knew people out there too, and I hooked up with certain people for a while, and we would come and go, but it's something about I just felt lonely. It was a
Yeah,
really weird, excuse me, really weird experience for me at least. So I'd love to kind of get
yeah,
your comparison of the two as well.
yeah. I mean, I've been kind of I'm very social. Obviously, that's why, I caught your wit because I talk to everybody. Like, if you're not talking to me, I will break you. Like, you will talk to me.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna try real hard, but I will break you. Like, you will talk to me. So, but in the exact opposite, I can be alone and not talk to anybody I mean, I've been a traveling mechanic, traveling sales guy for 20 years, and it's like, I don't mind being alone. I got plenty of thoughts rolling around up there that I need to work through anyway. Lots of long training runs by myself. So it didn't bug me that as bad as I was nervous, right? I was really actually nervous for the nighttime. But again, I always like to, somebody told me this, so it's not mine. I won't own it. But um, if you need a pacer, speed up or slow down, you'll find one. Like there will be somebody there, right?
Like that, dude.
And almost nobody that I've been around in an ultra, especially a 100 miler, is going to be like, get away from me. Like,
Yeah. Oh, for
they'll be
sure.
like, oh yeah, like let's talk, man. So
Yeah.
like Crazy Mountain, I started falling asleep, like on my feet. I was like, okay, I've known what this feeling is. So I turned around and there's a couple headlamps coming. So I just stopped, just waited for him to come. I'm like, can I talk to you guys for a bit? They're like, oh yeah, of course. This was a guy at his pacer and he was from Ohio. So we just talked for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, and then kind of woke me up. I was like, okay, see you guys. Like, thanks, appreciate the conversation. Um, so that was great. I mean, I knew people at aid stations. I had a couple other friends or, community from Utah that were doing it. Um, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's almost better for me therapeutically, and
Interesting.
I feel like I use less energy, honestly, when I'm by myself, which is weird, but I'm not talking. And I'm a
Hmm.
huge talker, and regardless of who it is, I'm not going to let you just sit there and talk to me. Like, I'm going to interact with you.
Yeah.
So I've found, that brings your heart rate up, that brings your breathing up. Like, you're putting out effort as you're talking. So by myself, I mean, Crazy Mountain actually ended up being at the time my fastest 100 miler. So
Really?
yeah, I like PR'd by
Wow.
like an hour and a half, like faster than I'd ever done
Dang.
bear or anything. Yeah, I was like super happy about it, and
That's awesome.
uh, yeah, it was great. So I mean, I did great. It was I think there was another asterisk to that though. Why it was really good for me going into it without a pacer is, you know, I'm not native, but there's a big native culture there, the Crow Nation, and there's a big story behind the Crazy Mountains, and like boys going in to become a man and go through the journey and like come out the other side a different person. So without being I call it a hack or like, trying to do that, I'm like, well, maybe this is time for me to like go in one way and come out a different person and see who I find in there. And like, so that was really cool. I tried to embrace that, tried to embrace the kind of culture there of what those mountains mean to that people. And so that was kind of a big part of it for me too. So that was fun. Made it
I
better to
don't,
be alone.
yeah, I don't think that's hacky at all, Michael. I think
Yeah.
I have a real reverence for Native American tribes. I think they're such a good example of people are so in touch with the land. They're in touch
Yeah.
with spirituality. I mean, if they felt something going through those mountains, I don't think they're just making stuff up. There's,
Oh, right.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yep.
let's just tell people you come through here and come out a man. Like,
Yeah.
that's not how it
Right.
works. You know, there's something
Exactly.
special about that journey, and I think they have a really good grasp on reality. You know,
Yes.
just to be honest.
Yes.
reality of life. So I really like that. That's pretty
Yeah.
special experience.
Yeah. Yeah. They got a good video on the website, or it's on YouTube, that there's a link to it on their site that I just was like, okay, I'm full on just embracing it and gonna have a good
Yeah,
time. And yeah, I've always enjoyed, I'll just echo what you said there, the way they treat the land, the way they treat their spirituality. And like, I mean, the land's going to be here after we're gone, but
yeah.
how bad are we going to trash it, right? Like, I don't enjoy that. I want to take care of it. I always want to leave it better than when I came in. And I feel like that's kind of their whole way of life, right?
Yeah, I had the privilege to do an ultra up on the Navajo reservation called Canyon de Chelly Ultra. It's
Oh, I've heard of that.
55K. Dude, put in for it. Get
Okay.
drawn and just do it. It is it's not even a race. It's a life-changing experience. And
Okay.
I know I'm starting to sound really culty, but I promise
No, I like
I'm,
it.
I'm not saying there's no leader. You don't have to
Yeah.
join and you don't have to pay any payments or anything. But the race director is a local there who's grown up in Chinle. And what you do is you go do like the race briefing the night before, and then you go up early if you want. It's not mandatory, but it's encouraged to go early. And they do this. His dad comes out and does a special ceremony.
Cool.
I mean, if you don't feel something special during this thing, you must be dead because I mean, people were crying.
Oh,
It's
cool.
so beautiful. It's so
Yes.
beautiful. And he's doing it in Navajo. And, I don't want to give too much of it away, but he blesses, like symbolically, he takes one of the men, he takes one of the women from the group, and he blesses them. It's just,
Cool. Yeah.
you realize you're like, these people that have grown up in this land they're so in tune with their environment. It's just
Yeah.
beautiful. And not to mention the scenery. It's the only time a non-native can go in the canyon without
Yes.
a guide. Oh, yeah, sign up. It's
Okay. Okay. You
amazing.
got me.
Sean, the race director, shout out to Sean Martin. He's hands down awesome dude. Um, anyway, sorry that
Yeah.
I took
No,
us
that's
way out
great.
in right field, but yeah,
No, that's like where it go.
amazing stuff. There's a reason it's so hard to get into because everybody puts in every year, and it's
Okay.
like I said, it's a little culty because it's like if
Yeah.
you talk to someone else about it, you're like, hey, who did you? Oh, you did Canyon de Chelly? Was it the most amazing experience you've ever had? You're like, you're like
Nice. Yeah, I like
having
it.
that moment with the person. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Crazy Mountain,
Yep. Yep.
2024.
Yep.
I mean, who says they PR'd at Crazy Mountain?
Yeah, right.
It's so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And then
where did you go from there?
did bear again that September. Nailed bear. I've gotten, a little bit faster at bear every year. Still couldn't beat my crazy mountain time though. I was like, okay, like there's my baseline. I have to beat it. So did bear again in 24 and then 25. So last year, um, put in for all the hundreds again. So put in for Hard Rock, put in for High Lonesome. Didn't get into either of them. That was like my third or fourth year. Put in for Hard Rock, still haven't gotten in. And then, yeah, I know. So was looking for like a July 100 because I like, the midsummer and then the September. So got into bear again for September, but July I was just like, well, I've heard great things about Never Summer, so I was like, cool, Never Summer's a cool 100K. Talked to my buddy, the one that I paced in 19 that got me into this, and I was like, hey, you want to do Never Summer? I'm like, so there's a 100K, but there's also this other cool thing in Never Summer called the Dirty Double. So you do the 60K on Friday and then the 100K on Saturday.
Get some.
And yeah, so
Whoa.
they have 25 spots open for that. The 100K and the 60K both sell out. So there's 300 each runners. So I was like, you want to do the dirty double with me? He's like, let's do it. So I was like, cool. So we both signed up. Again, super remote. There's nowhere to stay there. The town's super tiny motel. So he brought his trailer up and we just camped, just me and him. A little
Awesome.
bro trip and we hammered out the 60K on Friday, felt pretty good. Went went back, went to sleep, ate a bunch of food, and woke up, did the 100K. And unfortunately, man, it was one of the hardest things I've had to do. And, doing it together, we did it literally together the whole time.
Nice.
We never left each other's side. We were just having fun, being the loud, obnoxious, high fiving, smiling idiots out there, and like just having a good old time. And then he ended up having to pull out at the very last aid station. So
Dang
it
it.
was such a bummer. So 8 miles left. We'd already done it the day before, so we knew what we were in for. And I'm like, man, like we're just not moving fast enough at this pace, like I can't carry you out of there because there's nothing between here and there. And he knew it, and so it was like it was a tough moment, man. Emotionally, that
Yeah.
was
Oh
hard.
yeah.
And like, we never said it, but both of us knew like if one of us couldn't go on, the other one's gonna go. Like I would never ask him to not finish, and he same thing. It's like go get it. So that was rough, man. That was a hard time. But I had admittedly, he'd been slowing down, so I was kind of like I knew something was happening, and we've known each other a long time and run with each other a bunch, so I knew it was happening behind me, and I'm like, oh man. So we were walking a lot, recovering, but that last 8 miles, oh, I wish I remember the number off the top of my head. I passed like 20 people. I mean, I was just like hunting because I've been in full recovery mode
Yeah.
for like 2 hours, and everybody else had been pushing. I'm like, let's go, man. So I pumped it out and felt really good and got the dirty double. You get a big, nice custom plaque made out
Oh,
of wood. It is
nice.
cool, yeah. So 18 started the dirty double and eight of us finished both.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
8 out of
incredible.
18. Yeah, it was cool. It was fun, and the next day they do the award ceremony and everything, and they honor the Dirty Double people. So that was really cool. And man, Nard Runners puts on a great event. I was really impressed. I've only ever heard good about Never Summer. They have a few other races too, but that's been the only one that like Utah friends have done, and they're like, dude, you have to do it. You have to do it. And just stunningly beautiful. But the race directors, man, they do an awesome job.
Yeah.
Again, local feel, just super laid back, chill, great food, excellent volunteers. I mean, we saw them all 2 days in a row. So like, wait, what are you doing here? You're like, hey, we're back.
That's so
So it was really
awesome.
cool. Yeah, I mean, it was really fun. Just again, another beautiful place.
So, what um, I was gonna say something when you were mentioning the plaque. Um, I don't know if it's an ultra person thing, but I feel like most ultra people are trinket driven, where they're like,
Yeah.
"You're gonna give me a bolo tie if I go do the spike camp?
Yeah, buddy.
All right,
Like, all right,
I'll see
like
you
I'll
there.
take a bolo tie,
I'll be
right?
there." Or like a
Yeah,
plaque, or
yeah.
the at Canyon de Chelly, they hand bead a turquoise necklace. All his family
Ooh,
hand beads.
cool.
So it's always like, you serious?
Yeah, like
I'll be
okay.
there. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah,
A belt buckle?
yeah.
I'm
Let's
on
do
it.
it. Right?
I
Yeah,
think it's so cool, especially these creative things that I see some races do with like Aravaipa does a ton of woodworking ones.
yeah. Yep.
It's just really cool.
It is really cool.
Medals are cool. I'm not knocking road marathon, the medal thing, not
Right?
at all.
Yeah, I'll say there's plenty of those.
Because I've seen some really cool medals, but
Yeah.
like the Great Divide has a cool finisher buckle from what I've
Yeah.
seen. A bunch of
Yeah.
Candace does all the custom ones for her
Right?
races.
Yep.
Just awesome stuff. Really
Yeah.
cool. But
Yeah.
definitely, I'm a trinket,
Yeah.
driven person. It's like, oh, I get a sticker if I win, if I complete
Right?
this. Okay,
Yeah. And
send it.
honestly didn't look up or look for the Dirty Double one for Never Summer. I knew it existed, but I'm like, I don't really want to see it. Like, I want it to be a surprise,
Surprise!
Yeah, because I
Nice.
heard they don't show it on the website, nothing like that. Like, you can look it up, if you look at videos on YouTube or whatever. But I was like, nah, like I just want to see it. Like, I just want to see it when
Dude,
it's mine.
how
So
awesome.
yeah, they brought it out. I was like, oh, it's huge. That's amazing. Like, yes. It just says custom finisher award. I was like, well, it can't be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all wood, so that was really cool. Yeah, the Aravaipa ones are amazing though. Like the
Yeah.
100K one that I got at Tusher's is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And like leave it up to Jamil. He's like, oh, I'm gonna create a woodworking business and make.
Right.
And I've
Yeah.
seen like the Instagram videos of the way they cut it out, and like, have you seen some of the belt buckle holders?
No, I haven't.
Like the Cocodona one and Sedona Canyons, Mogollon Monster one. I'm moving, or else I'd show it to you. I it's
Nice.
all packed up, but
Yeah.
just the coolest stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
of course I'll spend the $100 on it. It's like, okay,
Right.
fine, fine. Here, take my money.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, the first Aravaipa medal I got was Twisted Fork in
mm,
2020. The guy actually had Aravaipa make them, so it was cool. It was
yeah,
wood, on a string. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I like
no,
this.
I think it's Air Vipa Works or something. I can't
Yeah,
remember the
yeah,
name,
yeah.
but I I want to say how impressed I am by the back to back stuff you do, because
Thanks.
we've already touched on it. It's super impressive. I don't want to, beat that drum too hard, but huge kudos to you, because again, I don't know if I'm sure I could do it right.
Yeah.
We can do anything.
Yep.
It's just so outside of like my window of understanding, because
Yeah.
if I finish a big event, I'm always like just out, and to
Yeah.
me, it's like, oh, 3 weeks. I gotta, do a small build up and then,
Yep.
taper down and
Yeah.
back at it. That's just so cool. And
Right.
then the never summer stuff, the back to back, day after day.
Yeah.
Um, I, I try and understand. Like, I've done a multi day event, but you're still in the event. It's not
Right.
over. It's not like
Yeah.
you finished and you
Yeah.
laid in bed
Right.
and you ate a bunch of
Yes.
food. So it's different. It seems more
Yeah.
like out of reach. It's just super impressive. Um,
Thanks.
have you? Uh, you seem like you'd be like a really good candidate for a 200 miler,
You
because
know,
you seem like you have the strength and the endurance, but like the mindset of just settling in and getting it done. But has that ever crossed your mind? Like,
oh,
am I
for sure.
planting some bad seeds in your
No,
brain?
no, it's been on the radar for a long time. I definitely do. Like, I'll do one at some point for sure. Now that there's so many, I mean, every year there's 5, 10 more new ones. Like, they're exploding. It's definitely on the radar. Yeah, I think the only thing that holds me back is the time and financial and crew commitments that are required for a 200, right? It's like you put the family through it, you put the friends through it, you put the finances through it. Uh, None of this is free, man. So it's like, I definitely do want to do it though. At first after I think I did the first couple hundreds, I was like, yeah, 200's next. But now I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I like this 100 miler thing.
And especially the back to back stuff. Like,
Yeah,
that's just it's super impressive. And I hear what you're saying about the price points of these 200s, because they just keep going up, and then they're like, oh, we have payment plans. It's like, whoa,
yeah. What are we
everybody
doing?
slow down. We're
Yeah,
financing these now. What?
right. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and I've added up, like, so after some of my bigger efforts, I've added up like Strava hours of training.
Oh yeah.
It's like a part-time job.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah. Right.
I love being outside. I
Yes.
love all that, the mountains. I love being outside, but from the family perspective and the job perspective, it is a big toll. And that's kind of
Oh
what I
yeah.
wanted to transition into my next question: is how do you have time to do all this? Because you're traveling sales. That's obviously tough. Being out and about all the time, family commitments. How do you do it? How do you stay so motivated and
Right.
disciplined?
It's hard, man. It's I've always tried to do it because we have a 15-year-old. She just turned 15, and I don't want to take away from them because I enjoy being around them. They enjoy me being home, but it's like, okay, well then I got to wake up at 3. I got to wake up at 4. I got to be on the trail 4 or 5 a.m. in the summertime to get in a 7, 8 hour training run. And then, oh wait, I'm going to do it again the next day because I think back to back long runs are super important for 100 milers. And I think, Saturday, Sundays, Friday, Saturdays, whatever you have to do it. But you got to put in long efforts. So there's a lot of time spent very early. Maybe I take a nap in the afternoon to try and like get through the rest of the day if I woke up at 3 a.m. But um, I want it bad, man, and it's like I'm addicted by nature, so it's something I have to work hard to keep in balance for sure. Um, yeah, it's getting up early or staying up late. I mean, I'm not a big stay up late kind of guy. I'd rather wake up and do it in the dark if I have to. Um, because I know if there's no meetings on the books for today, and I'm like, hey, I'll sleep in and do it after my daughter goes to school. Yeah, 4 meetings are going to pop up and you're not going to have time. Like it's going to happen.
Yeah,
So I'm like, just get up and get it done and be home. Even on the long run weekends, I try to be home before noon. That way I still get the full family time. The girls get to sleep in and hang
yeah,
out and relax. They don't have me, full energy bopping around the house. Saturday mornings. It's nice to be done by noon though. So that's always my goal. Don't stay out past noon, no matter what time you got to wake up. And I mean, if you want it bad enough, you're going to do it. So
I like
it's
it.
yeah, and I don't foresee this thing going away anytime soon. So we're going to keep trying to plug away at it.
That's what I think is so cool about ultra is it's really one of those sports you can grow old with.
Yes.
My dad is 77 and he was out at Spike Camp. He was one of those
Awesome.
older guys just grinding up and down. And
Yeah.
then we went back to his house because he lives in Oregon. So we were back at his house Sunday and he's over on the couch Googling something. He's on his phone. He's like, is there a 50K in Arizona in February? I was like, yeah. He's like, I want to do it. I was like, he'd already done that
Yeah.
race and forgot
Yeah.
that it was that time. But it's just so cool. I mean,
Yeah.
you go out there and you see people, all ages, shapes, sizes,
Yep.
everything. I
Oh
think
yeah.
ultra is one of the most inclusive sports because you really can take your time. I mean, depending on the race, right?
Right.
Super mountainous 100 with the tight timeline. Probably not,
Yeah.
but a lot
Right.
of these races you can really. I mean, my dad did the Siskiyou out and back, the SOB, and he said, I've calculated it out and I know I can walk my pace the whole time and make it. Sure
Nice.
enough,
Yeah.
we came in last, but he walked the whole thing. Just
Yeah.
and he's a through hiker, so he's got such a
Nice.
fast walking pace that never
Oh yeah.
stops.
Nice.
But age, you know,
Doesn't matter, man.
gender, watch out. These ladies will
Oh man.
smash you.
Oh man. Yeah, it doesn't it literally doesn't matter. I
Yeah,
mean, that's probably one of the more my favorite things about it too is you see everybody at the start line.
everybody.
And you see people with backpacks, you're like, good luck, man. And then they're blasting by you at mile 60. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I learned to swallow that pride very
Oh,
early on. Like, you can't judge, like, 'cause
no.
somebody's going to blow past you and make you realize that this is not what you think it is.
No, it is a chess match. And it's not a 5K, 10K. Don't get me wrong. I'm way more afraid of a fast 5K than I am of a 100 miler.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it is a chess match. Like that these older guys and gals that have been doing it a long time, they've seen almost everything and they know their
Oh,
body
yeah.
so well and they've got
Yep.
that pace so dialed in. It's amazing. I think it's so
Yeah.
cool. Um,
Yeah.
I just noticed the time.
Yeah.
I apologize. Excuse me. I
No worries.
just
No,
getting over
you're
being
fine.
sick, like I said. Um, but I do like to give my guests the last word, and what that means is something you may have wanted to bring up that you just haven't brought up, or shout out somebody, or a mantra, whatever it is. I'll just turn it over to you for the last word.
Awesome. Thanks, man. One thing I did think about our last little part there was run your own race, man. Thinking about everybody's different. I've let probably the last 3 or 4 100 milers I've done, I've learned that you don't have to stick with that group. If they're starting to pull away and you're starting, like, you see your heart rate's raising and you're like starting to stress out, I'm like, you know what? Just let them go. Like, this isn't my sustainable pace. I need to do my race. And I've noticed several times people that I'm with early that I let them pull away, I do end up getting them and I do end up passing them later. And I'm like, see, this is my race. Like, I can't let your influence change my plan, if you will. I mean, a plan is a loose term in a 100 miler, but so that's something, that's one thing I'll leave with that. And then, yeah, I'd like to, a couple people, right? So Consequence of Habit has been a huge supporter of mine. They were out there supporting Spike Camp. They've done a really good job. I think they continue to do a good job for veterans, first responders, anybody. They have good workshops. They have, yeah, they're doing a really good job. Really, really impressed by those guys and their support of me. Death March, same thing too. And then started my Davis Mountain Goats project last year. Going to try and pick it up a little heavier this year where we're doing a lot of trail work, coordinating trail work in Davis County, Utah. So northern, just, 20 minutes north of Salt Lake. So we don't get a lot of love. We're part of the Salt Lake Forest Service district. So this doesn't get seen. We don't get a lot of people coming up. Our trails are beautiful. They're really hard. They're a great training ground for Wasatch, for other mountain hundreds. Feel like the one year if I ever get into hard rock, I'll have a good training ground. Other than elevation, I think I'll be set on vert. But yeah, so we're just going to keep trying to plug away, keep trying to get volunteers to show up and do trail work. So that's the
Love it.
goal this year.
That it's so impressive to me that you're just embodying that lifestyle. You know, giving back, taking care of the trails. Because I think some people don't realize that trails don't take care of themselves.
Yeah, it's a true story. Yep. If you're going to wait, nobody's
Yeah,
going to come to wipe you.
they definitely don't take care of themselves. Huge thanks to you for doing that. It's kind of unappreciated work. It really is.
And it's hard work too, man.
Yeah.
And it's, I was a little delusional about how long it would take me to clear some of these trails and about how I didn't know how difficult it would be to get volunteers to come out. So, we have some funding this year, and we're going to try and entice people to come out. Shirts, food, drinks, whatever we can do to get you to come out. But our hours count towards 100 miler hours and volunteer hours. So we're working with the Forest Service, and yeah, I feel like all the stuff I did as a kid and teenager, I kind of owe the world a little bit of back pay here. So I'm just going to keep trying to, work off that debt through society and
Yeah.
try and do good because yeah, nobody's coming if you
No.
don't do it. I've been complaining about certain trails for years, and I'm like, I'm complaining and nothing's happening. So
Yeah.
let's do it.
Well, you're the man, Michael. I mean, you hit the
Thank you.
nail on the head with that. Trinkets and food it'll get people out. T-shirts,
Yep.
swag, that'll get people out.
Right.
Um, well, listen, hey, I really mean this. I'm super impressed by your story. It's an amazing example of just sticking to what you're dedicated to, despite a super busy life. I guarantee you're not just eating bonbons all day. You've got a busy life, kids,
Yeah.
work, and so thank you for being that example to all of us. Of, just making it happen every day, and also thank you for your time. Obviously, you could be hanging out with your family right now, but you decided to hang out with us and hear your story. So thank you for that. But I'm sure we'll be in touch after this.
Perfect. Thanks,
Thanks,
man. I
Michael.
appreciate you having me
Take it
on.
easy.
Thank you.